So welcome back. In this video we're going to make respawn system, crosshair setup and a grappling hook, so let's get started.
First create a C# script, then name it something like respawn. Then open that script. First we want to create a serialized field for our player. Then create another serialized field for our spawn point as transform. Now we want to create another serialized field for spawn value as float. Then in void update we want to check if player.transform.position.y is smaller than spawn value. If it is true, then it will run respawn point. In respawn point we want to make player position to spawn point position. In Unity we also have to do something. First put the script into your player, then put the player into player section. Then create a sphere by right-clicking on hierarchy window, then click on 3D objects, then click on sphere. Then set it where you want the player to be respawned. And disable the mesh renderer of it. And set the spawn value to 10 and put that sphere which we just create into spawn point section. And as you can see, it works great. Now let's make crosshair. To do that, click on the first link of description. Then add it to your Unity asset like this. Then open it in Unity Editor. Then download and import it like this. Then it will create a folder in asset names as crosshair. In here you can see how many crosshair design you can get and use. Now create a canvas by right-clicking UI, then clicking on canvas. Then right-click on canvas, then click on UI, then click on raw image. Then click on raw image, then click on texture, then choose any crosshair you want. Then change the width and height to 20. And as you can see, it works great. Now let's make grappling hook. First create C# script, then name it grappling gun. First we want to create a reference to line renderer as LR. Then create a private vector 3 variable for grapple point. Then create a layer mask for what is grappleable. Then make a public variable for camera, gun tip, and a player as transform. Then create a public float variable for max distance, and by default it will be 300. Then create a private variable for spring joint as joint. Then in void awake. Void awake is basically runs the code once when we start the game. Then we want to tell the Unity that LR is a line renderer component. Then in void update we want to check if player has left clicked. If it is true, then it will run start grapple function. If it is not true, then it will run stop grapple. Then we need to declare later update function. It will run after the update function been run. In later update it will run draw rope. Then in void start first we need to create a reference to raycast hit as hit. Raycast hit is a method that allows you to shoot a ray like a laser from an origin point in a certain direction of a max distance length. Then we want to check if camera position camera.forward.raycast hit max distance and what is grappleable has been raycast. Raycast a physics function that projects a ray into the scene, returning a Boolean value if a target was successfully hit. Then we want to make grapple point to raycast hit point. Now we want to add a component type of spring joint when we run start grapple. Then we wanted to use auto-configure connected anchor method. Connected anchor is the local position in the other rigid body, connected body, and make it false. Then we want to use connect anchor method again and make the join connected anchor to grapple point. Then we want to use float variable and make the distance from point vector 3 distance and include player position and grapple point position in it. Then in these two lines the distance grapple will try to keep the distance point. Then in these 4 lines we will try to adjust these values for your game. Then in draw rope we want to check if the spring joint is not attached. If it is true, then it will make the line renderer X position to 0 and Y position to gun tip position, then make the line renderer position to grapple point. Then in stop grapple we will make the line renderer disable and destroy the joint. Then we have to download this free fun model from description. Then it will create a folder for gun. To get the gun model, open the SC gun file, then models. Then just drag and drop it in hierarchy window. Then drop down the player, then make the gun as a child of the main camera. and set it where you want the gun to be located. And put the gun material like this. Then create another empty gun object and name it as gun tip and set it where you want the grappling hook to start. Then under your grappling hook put the grappling gun script which we create earlier. Then in what is grapple label choose everything. Then gun tip section put the gun tip object, then in camera put your main camera and put your player in player section. And as you can see it works great. Also if you want this whole project file you can ask me in comment. And that's it for today's.